Hey everyone and welcome to my channel. This week I've got the Earfun Air S to test, which brings a couple of new features to the Air series, such as aptX or multipoint support. So let's see the details. So these new buds are the latest addition to the Air series, which is now a long line of STEM-style designed earphone buds. I previously tested the Earfun Air Pro, the Air Pro 2 and also the Air Pro SV. And these new buds are kind of a mix of the Air Pro 2, which got the same battery case and a rounded STEM-style design, and the Air Pro SV, which was the first set of earphone buds that had app support, and it also comes in the same metallic blue color as the new Air S. And while there is nothing really groundbreaking here as far as the design, I gotta say that Earfun managed to create something fresh and sleek looking. The Air S buds weigh in at just under 5 grams each, and it means that while their size is comparable to that of the Air Pro 2, they lost weight somewhere in the redesigning process. The buds, of course, are made entirely from plastic, but I cannot really say anything bad about their build quality. Everything feels solidly put together. The buds do not sit too deep inside in my ear canals, yet they fit securely enough for workouts or running. I also like the fact that Earfun decided to use a rather matte black coating on the body, which helps with the grip of the buds, and only used a glossy metallic coating on the outer side of the stem. So the comfort and fit are both excellent, and there are 3 sets of soft silicone ear tips in the box in case you need a different size for your ears. Similarly to the previous models, the Air S comes with an IPX5 rating, which means that the earbuds are protected against sweat, rain and splashes. And if we add the ambient mode to this list, then the Air S turns out to be a great affordable option for those who are physically active. And I really mean affordable, as the earbuds cost $70. But if you click through one of the links in the description, you might be able to get some further discount depending on where and when you watch this video. Onto the battery case, it almost looks exactly the same as that of the Air Pro 2. It also sits on the larger side of things, so the case may only fit in not too tight pockets comfortably. The case is fully plastic, but it's well built with a solid hinge, which has a hard stop at the fully open position, so there is no flopping, no play and no creaking noises. And with the large-ish case comes with Qi wireless charging support and a big enough battery to fully recharge the earbuds 4 times, which makes the total playtime around 30 hours. After doing some basic math, we can see that the earbuds themselves can last up to 6 hours on a single charge. According to my own tests, the Air S can deliver the 6 hours and even more, but only with ANC turned off. With the active noise cancelling enabled, we can still get like 5.5 hours of playtime with the AAC codec on iOS, but with aptX on Android, the battery life takes quite a hit, as you can see. It's still close to 5 hours even with ANC on though. The case can be charged wirelessly on any Qi-compatible charging pad, and also 10 minutes of quick charging can give us 2 hours of use. And while this is a great overall performance, it's only marginally better than that of the Air Pro SV, and very similar to what the Air Pro 2 can do. So there is no major leap in design or battery life, and you might be wondering what's the point of having the Air S after all. Well, the answer to that question lies under the hood. With this new model, we get the Qualcomm QCC3046 chip, which is qualified to Bluetooth 5.2, and it supports not only the aptX audio codec, but also comes with multipoint support, which gives you the option to actively connect the earbuds to 2 source devices at the same time, such as a laptop and your phone, and no Air series earbuds could do that in the past. I did not experience any connection issues with the buds during my tests. I could pair them easily with both Android and iOS devices with no issues whatsoever. Automatic switching works well when a phone call comes in, but not so much when you want to switch between devices for media playback. That's only a minor inconvenience, as you have to pause playback on one device first to be able to start playback on the other. The good news is that on aptX-compatible phones, you can still use the aptX codec even with an active multipoint connection. The bad news is that while the Qualcomm chip itself is compatible with the more advanced aptX adaptive, we only get regular aptX with the Air S. Well, in this price range, you have to cut some corners to keep the costs down, I guess. You won't have any lip sync issues when watching videos, and with game mode enabled, latency becomes pretty much acceptable even for serious gamers. Single bud mode is supported, so you can use each bud on its own, and multipoint remains active in this case too.
But can they deliver good enough phone call quality? Well, let's figure it out. So this is a microphone test of the Earfun Air S earbuds in a quiet room. My voice might be a bit grainy sounding, but the clarity and the volume are both okay. So far so good. But now let's see what happens if we add some ambient noise to the mix to test the Qualcomm QCC3046 technology, which is supposed to deliver clear voices even in a noisy environment such as this simulated coffee shop. Well, it still sounds good enough to me, so let's push the earbuds a little further by testing them outside with some traffic around and also with a slight breeze. And as you can hear, the earbuds can deliver great results in terms of voice transmission quality based on all these tests.
It also depends on your needs, of course, but I believe that besides sports, we can safely add gaming and office use to the list of scenarios where the Air S can perform admirably. Onto the touch controls, there we can run into some limitations, but thanks to the custom settings in the app, we can control all sorts of functions using the touchpads built into the stem on each bud. Play, pause, volume, tracks, voice assistants, phone calls, ambient modes, and even the low latency game mode switch can be assigned to either the triple tap or the long press action. But only these two actions are remappable, as the single tap is volume and the double tap is play pause, without the option to change or disable either of them. With that said, I've seen screenshots of the app in other reviews which, for example, display more custom options for the touch controls, and I can also see the added single tap and double tap remapping options in the version history of the app on App Store. I'm not sure why I don't see those changes yet on either the iOS or on the Android version of the app myself. Whatever the reason is, it means one thing for sure, and that's that new features can always be added through a firmware update, so we might see further upgrades in the future. But at the end of the day, all major functions are available across the different tapping actions on the two buds, and the controls work well too for the most part, with a decent level of accuracy. However, I felt on occasion that the buds were not doing quite exactly what I wanted them to do. You also have to make sure you touch the top half of the stem, otherwise you might risk pushing the buds out of position, but you can always grab onto the stem with two fingers while using the controls to make sure the buds stay put. The Air S buds come without smart sensors, so we don't get automatic play and pause. There is an app though, which can offer some functions and settings, but there is not too many. All we get are the custom control settings, a game mode switch, firmware updates, and some EQ presets with the option to manually fine-tune them each. Of course, we also get an ambient mode switch, but I would have loved to see some settings for managing different connected devices, and especially some multipoint related switching options. But nope, even though we got new features for the earbuds themselves, the smartphone app remains basically unchanged when compared to the Earfun Air Pro SV. So no improvement on that front, at least none that I could find as of making this video. Moving on to the active noise cancellation, it has three modes: ANC on, ambient sound, and normal, which is ANC off. We can toggle through these modes using either the touch controls or the Earfun app. The noise cancelling performance of the Air S is very similar to that of the Air Pro 2 in terms of blocking out higher pitch noises, but I noticed that the new buds might be a touch less effective at taming low frequency hums and rumbles. The differences are only marginal, so in everyday use with music on you won't notice much of it. And as for one of the best in class, the Soundcore Live P3, which is similarly priced and similarly designed, I found that the two buds are basically head-to-head in general ANC performance. The one slight advantage the Live P3 can offer is an outdoor mode, which cuts down on wind noise a little. We get no wind noise reduction with the Air S, and that's a shame, as the mics can pick up quite some wind noise when we use the earbuds outside, especially in ambient mode. The ambient mode itself sounds natural without over-amplifying the surrounding noises, and we don't get too much of a hiss either. And that's great, but for example the Live P3 again comes with a separate vocal mode which only focuses on human voices, and that can help in having a conversation with the earbuds in our ears. That's missing from the Earfun app, but the ambient mode is loud enough so we can hear everything and probably everyone around us when it's enabled, and it also sounds more natural with less of a hissing noise than the Live P3. So overall, I would say that the active noise cancelling, even if not perfect, is up there or at least really close to the best in this price range, and that makes the Earfun Air S a great budget-friendly option for traveling and commuting. Next up is sound quality. With the Earfun Air S, we get the same 10mm wool composite dynamic drivers as we had in the Earfun Air Pro SV, and as a result we get an almost identical sound signature too. The bass is intense, deep and taut. It's not boomy or sloppy, but it's tight and well controlled instead. The bass does not bleed too much into the lower mids either, and it leaves them enough room to breathe. Vocals and acoustic instruments are present, detailed and more or less natural sounding, but maybe I would feel even more satisfied with just a touch more energy across the mid-range frequencies. There is no lack of detail and sparkle in the higher octaves. The treble delivers a healthy combination of energy and smoothness. Sibilance or ear fatigue is mostly a non-issue with these buds unless you get to full volume where everything gets a little bit out of control. But since the buds can go crazy loud, I would not recommend pushing the volume above like 80 or 85% in everyday use anyway. The imaging has a solid center focus, but the sound does not extend that much to the sides, resulting in a slightly compressed sound stage. Some more air in the upper mid-range and lower treble region could help open things up a little. And these are almost the exact same words I used to describe the sound of the Air Pro SV in its own review. And I also said that those buds had a class-leading sound, and I guess I have to repeat myself here once again. The Live P3 may have more bass, but it sounds boomy and compressed, while the Air Pro 2 had a less open sound with less weight in the bottom octaves. The sound signature of the Air S leans towards a consumer-friendly V-shaped character, which makes the bass and the treble pop a little, but it's not overdone, so the result is a very enjoyable tuning, which is suitable for most musical genres. I left the EQ in the Earfun app mostly untouched, because first, I like the sound already out of the box, and second, it barely does anything good to the sound if I'm completely honest with you. But EQing or not, the Air S can sound exceptionally good, so besides sports, traveling, commuting, gaming and office use, we can add enjoying your favorite tunes at home to the list of use case scenarios where the Earfun Air S can deliver the goodies. So these buds are the definition of a great all-arounder. We also get a fresh design with great build quality, a high level of comfort with a snug fit, a decent battery life with wireless charging, an advanced new Bluetooth chip with seamless multipoint connection and aptX support, clear phone calls, excellent noise cancelling, a smartphone app and an impressive sound. I'm not sure if we can ask for more from a set of true wireless earbuds that cost around $70, so I can safely say that you cannot really go wrong with these buds regardless of what your main use case is, in my opinion. True, other than the new Qualcomm chip and some features that come with it, these earbuds are not that different from the Air Pro SV or even the Air Pro 2, but I still think that the Air S is the best option by far, especially considering the fact that as of writing this review, these buds are the cheapest of the three. And this was my review of the Earfun Air S. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you really like it though, you might want to consider donating some money to the channel by clicking on the super thanks button. And while talking about money, I also have to tell you that I got the earbuds from the manufacturer for testing, but I'm not getting paid for making this video, and no one had any influence on what I was telling you about their product. And I guess that's all I wanted to say today, so thanks for watching and see you next time.